Thank you for getting your hair in the grease.
We actually live yet, YouTube? Come on. Being really weird today. Hey, finally! Alright, we're actually live. I hit start streaming like 2 or 3 minutes ago on OBS, and YouTube just didn't catch up. So, hey folks, welcome to it. We are working on the Milo V1.5 from Millennium Machine and LDO Motors in this stream. I actually started this yesterday. If you immediate cat butt, yes. Please don't stand on the keyboard. If you didn't see the stream yesterday, I streamed with Modbot, Daniel. We streamed on Modbot Army yesterday starting this build, so the first episode in my stream series is actually on Modbot Army channel. I think I have it linked in the description so you can catch up on it later. So the table's already a mess with hardware and grease. We already got started, so I think it's time that I have to pass Jean off to go rest in a bed or something, because she's going to knock stuff off the bench that I need to work with. So say bye, Jean. I also really need to brush her right now. Jose, hello, Bearded Bucket, Hobo Banana, Maker Viking, Delmar, Millennium Machine Works is in the house. Quick plug for the awesome grease tool. Yes, in fact, you know what? I was debating making a whole video just on Mandic Labs here. Maybe not a short, but maybe a short. I don't know. This grease gun, I adore this thing. I showed it yesterday on Daniel's stream. Boop. This little compact grease gun. This is meant for greasing air tools, and I adore this thing for greasing rails now. I've only used it on these for this particular build because they're MGN 15s, and I have it loaded up with EP2. It's also linked in the description right now, I believe. Pretty sure I already linked this in the description. An Amazon link. It's like $12 for one of these things on Amazon. So I'm definitely going to play around with it more. Probably the next day or two, I'll film like a super quick video greasing up a couple of rails just to prove that it works as well as I feel that it does. And then, yeah. Tor, welcome! After 6 times reloading, I finally see the chat. YouTube was being buggy on my end too, so hopefully the stream goes smoothly tonight. So, Joe Show, welcome in the house. Ella Fox in the house too. Welcome, folks. And yes, we do have a Millennium Machine Works in as well. All right, we can dive into working on the Milo. I wonder if there's an extension nozzle. I think that there is. I'll have to look into that a little more. It would be great to be able to grease a rail in place. That would be ideal for like long-term maintenance. So I'm going to look into it a little more. I seem to remember that there are longer nozzles for that, but I don't remember for sure. So getting a new roof tonight. Hope I can hear the stream. Oh boy. I'm going to adjust this angle just a little bit. The camera's not quite where I want it. All right, sorry about that, folks. I had a call earlier that I adjusted the camera angle for a meeting I had earlier, and I forgot to adjust it back for stream. So, what did I miss? Ella Fox. Been offered a new job today after 5 months out of work. Taking my partner out in celebration. Awesome. Congratulations on that, Ella. Congratulations on that. So, congrats. Also, I guess I didn't... Have I streamed since? I don't think I've streamed since we locked in a house. So we have a house now in Portland area, suburbs, but we have locked in a house, so we have a celebration as well. So congrats to Ella. Let's celebrate everybody having some stress relieved, hopefully. Eric's getting a new roof, so hopefully that's not so bad. But yeah. All right. Let's dive into where I left off with the instructions here. Let me see if I can screen share this a little bit. So, by the way, Millennium Machine instructions for this build, awesome, excellent. Loving these for the most part. I think I need to enlarge this a little bit, but can I? I don't know how to keyboard command it. Whatever. Okay, we already got the carriages installed onto the rail carriages on the plate for the XY axis movement. Ooh, have to replace almost all the roof decking. I am sorry, not congratulations. Not congratulations on that. Sorry to hear that. Okay, so we need the anti-backlash preload. Millennium Machine gave us a nice little update in the stream yesterday with ModBot about how to approach this, and they're going to be modifying the instructions after this as well. I got to find the lead screws real quick. There we are, a couple of lead screws. So we need to do lead screw tuning. That's not what I wanted. I need a stream deck. It is beyond time for me to have invested in a stream deck. Hey means we get to stay dry. That is a good take on it. At least you can view it that way. Okay, so what we need to do is install, because this bearing block, for anybody who's not familiar, the bearing blocks that the lead screws go through on this build there's a bearing nut or a lead screw nut on both sides of this, and as such, if I was just to feed this through here, the likelihood that the two pitches of threading would align is unlikely. So what we do is we leave one of them loose and one of them tight, so that then we can feed it through one side and then the other side can kind of find its happy home before we tighten that side down. So that's the effectively tuning of this thing that we're trying to do. Install the greased lead screw temporarily into the block. Begin to tighten the loose nut, taking care to apply the same number of turns to each screw. Ideally, the preload will allow for the lead screw to spin by hand, but should have a moderate amount of resistance. Okay, so we're also kind of using this as an anti-backlash. I didn't realize that. That makes sense. So what they're doing is, by my understanding as of just reading that, is what we're doing is by leaving one side loose and the other side tight as we're tightening this together. When we tighten this, we're putting preload. It's squeezing the threads together a little bit so that this isn't just a super free movement, because with a milling machine, we don't want to have backlash. We don't want to have give. And even the spring-loaded milling or spring-loaded anti-backlash would probably be too much for this. So that makes sense. All right. Do I want to thread from... To tune the preload, make sure you're greased appropriately. Then install the two brass lead screw nuts within the anti-backlash block. Tighten the screws on one. Install the grease. Let me pull up the instructions. Is it the clip-on design that you're using for the LED brackets on the V0.2? Dark third dimension? No, it is a bolt-on design I used. A modified bolt-on design. So it's just, I'm running the standard, like not daylight, not disco on a stick, but like the small V0 size disco on a stick RGB strips. And I'm using Vector 3D's screw-on mounts for that. Thinking about a Milo for combat robot parts. That makes a lot of sense. I was watching some of Angus's content, his newest video about turning his badge from open source into a combat robot, and was kind of like, I should play around with that. I don't really have any interest in fighting robots, but like, just be fun to build. Rainbow on a matchstick. Yeah, that sounds about right. It'd be fun just to build one, just to play with. Or like, I saw in his video, like the cats were chasing it around, and oh, live update. We got the update in. Yes, you know, I might need to like recache the page. Or do I? Yeah. It's still the old, from my perspective, it's still the old page Millennium Machine, but it's probably my My Chrome has been glitching a little bit today. I need to like clear my cache and everything. I just didn't want to do it yet. Control F5 for a full refresh. Yeah, let me try that. Hey, nope. I'm still seeing the old page. Millennium Machine Works. Yeah, so there is an update to the instructions that they gave me that is going to be coming in the imminent future, so yeah. Who knows? It could be a website site, you know. Just because you hit publish doesn't mean that it automatically publishes or whatever. I don't know. A couple of events in the Portland area on average. A robotics club out there. Cool. I will look into that. Okay. Had a lot of fun with the Death Racers. You know, I have never played with the Death Racers, and I really should. I have no good reason for not building one yet. I don't know. So, all right. I gotta grease this up a little bit. I'm gonna get some grease into here. Just so there's like some grease. I'm gonna pack a little bit of grease into this block, but I don't really see any reason not to. Mandix Hot Rod Death Racer sounds like a good match. It does. I could really play around with like a rodded out version of a Death Racer. I don't know. And honestly, that's part of why I have not built one to this point. Is I haven't wanted to get like so buried in it, because I know I would. All right. Woo! All right. So, pushed a big glob of a grease out of there, which is fine. All right. All right. Now I'm through both bearings, so I can tighten the other side. Means I can tighten the other side, which is effectively preloading onto these. Don't eat the forbidden jelly. Yes. Do not eat the forbidden jelly. They're smooth and they're easy to move by hand. I almost worry they might be a little too smooth. When in doubt, lubricate. Yeah. I'm just trying to feel back and forth, make sure I don't feel any give or anything. I feel like I could really stand with a little more preload. And I don't really know what I'm doing. So I think what I'm going to do is spin. You want some resistance. Yeah, it was a little too free here. So I'm going to loosen this up and spin the nut 180 degrees. So that it catches threads a little differently, and see if we can't load it a little better that way. Yeah, now that I really think about it, I understand what the goal of this is, and it makes a ton of sense. So I'm just gonna use a pair of pliers as like a spanner wrench and spin this 180 degrees. Not quite. And put my screws back in. Getting messier than I usually do building a printer, I can tell you that. Big parts. Big parts, a lot of grease. Bigger parts. Bigger parts, a lot of grease. All right. Okay. Now, how's that feel? I went in there pretty easy. I might have to turn it 90 degrees. I don't know. Still really easy. Still really easy. I think I need to pull it out just a little bit and rotate it so that when I think it's seated in there a little too far. Because I made the mistake of not understanding what the goal of this... I didn't understand the assignment, and I seated it in a little too far yesterday, I think. Yeah, okay, now I push it out just a hair, and let's see. Oh yeah, now it doesn't really want to grab the same, and that's what I'm looking for. Doesn't quite want to grab right now. I think I might have to turn it 90 degrees. I'm going to try turning it 90 degrees and then try it again. So it's a little fiddly, but this is technically a machine tool. So honestly, in the realm of machine tools, as far as like setting up backlash on something, this is not the worst thing that could happen. I'm used to like, could be like shimming a nut or something to get the right backlash, which realistically we could do with this. I'm sure could be done, but I don't know if it's necessary. Anytime now. Right. Greasy screws. Greasy screws are a little hard to hold on to. Alright. Now, let's try this. It's protruding just a little bit, so I should be able to guide this into here. Little. Tighten it down just a hair. See if we can grab. What if Millennium Machine, what if I take this one out just enough to start the threads on it and then thread the lead screw back in until I can line up the screws? Nero went as far as indicating the rails to each other. Yeah, I mean, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of the instructions. I don't know. I haven't looked that far. I'm terrible about not really reading through the instructions. So, every day is a surprise to me when I'm building something like this. Okay, now I'm threaded in a little bit. So I'm going to restart this screw. Honestly, I just had to push a little further past where I was with it. Okay, let's try this again. All right, coming in, tightening. I'll back this off just a... Oh, that was too much. I locked it up. But that's the idea. I'm trying to put preload on this. We are legitimately preloading this thing, so I'm just going to walk it back in a little bit by bit. All right. We try to avoid indicating as it keeps skill. It's a skill a lot of newbies don't have. So just trying to keep it more accessible. Totally understandable. Understandable. I think I'm going to turn this 90 degrees and see if I can't get it back in there a little bit better. And I don't think turning it was my key. I think pushing it out just a little further was my key. All right, now I think I got it in there where it needs to be, and let's see if that was enough. Tighten these down. I think I need to focus that camera just a little deeper here. All right. I'm back to where it feels like too loose. Back to where it feels too loose. There's a fine line there, and I went over it. All right, Ella, thank you. Ella, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And congratulations once again. So hope you and your partner have a lovely time when you get out and celebrate. Congratulations. So, Millennium Machine, am I looking... How much should I expect this nut to protrude when I'm done? Because it's looking like I'm protruding almost the length of the... Milo can be a little fiddly, so be prepared for some of the slower stuff. That's fine. I'm not irritated by this. Like, I understand this is a more precise thing, and you know, with precision stuff like this, the more time you spend now, the better your results will be in the end. And now's the time to spend the time, because otherwise you end up wasting time later. Yeah, see, like, I'm protruding almost the flange width right now, or flange depth, and it feels like too much. Well, it definitely is too much. I'm locked up manually. I'm manually locked up. Better to spend time now than to have to disassemble later. You are right. Didn't realize just how big the spindle is. It's also a wide-angle lens, so it looks a little bit bigger, but it is not small. Should sit as close to flush as possible. The other side is protruding a millimeter or two. My X block, they're pretty flush. My Y block is not. Let me give that a quick taparoo. Mine is a 110 spindle. LDO provided me and Modbot the new 110 volt spindles that they're using. Nope. I want something to just give it a little tap. A little tap in. What horsepower is the spindle? Don't know. Maybe Millennium Machine can answer that. Let me pull out this and see if I'm bottoming out or not. Yeah, because my y-axis ones are absolutely protruding more than my x-axis are. Sure looks like it's bottomed out though. Yeah, looks pretty bottomed out. I'm going to give this a little turn, though. Or you know what? I'm going to give this a 90-degree turn, the side that I'm locking in. That way it gives the threads a slightly different approach to the other one. It's a 1.5 kilowatt. We recommend 1.5 to 2.2. Okay. I don't know. I expect I will probably upgrade, modify, change to a 220 spindle at some point. I actually wanted a 220 spindle. But beggars can't be choosers. Thank you to LDO Motors for providing the Milo kit for this build. Because I have 220 in my shop, so for me it's fine. But I also like experiencing seeing what others would build. You know, if they don't have access to 220, they could build this one and see how it performs. I mean, it may perform perfectly fine and I have no reason to go to 220. I don't know. I have no idea. Ba-ba-ba. All right. All right. I gave the other side nut a 20 or a 25, like a 90-degree turn, quarter turn, so that the threads are going to be engaging slightly differently. Hopefully that makes a difference. Will the new shop have any 220 already? I don't think it has it already. It might have it already. I forget, honestly. I haven't seen it in person. If it doesn't, I will probably add it. I know there's enough space in the panel for it. So I'm going to adjust camera quick. All right, I'm going to try and get the second camera angle a little better in focus. That looks better. All right, so you folks can see what I'm doing a little better. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better. So I'm threading through the first nut, trying to engage into the second nut. Definitely approaching it differently now that I turned that a little bit, which is what I wanted. All right, I'm going till this is almost bottomed out on that side. Not quite engaged. Not quite engaged. Oh. It caught, but it's just too loose. Long-time listener, first-time caller from Get Me a Bread. Was wondering about the Mercury 1.1. Was it worth it, and what kind of speeds? I've really never pushed that thing as hard as I could. I've easily seen input shaper graphs recommending 10,000 acceleration on it. Like, it's a good motion system. It really is solid. Bearded Bucket has one and is in the chat and pushes his a little harder than I push mine, I do believe. Or has a lot more experience with his than I do mine. But I really like that machine. I've been very happy with it. I need to overhaul. What I'm not happy with is firmware issues and potentially hardware, but it's electronics hardware issues. So I adore it. And I really recommend, if you have an Ender 5 and you're willing to put the money in to do that conversion, I really recommend it. Try loosening up the first screw, and then, yeah, that's kind of what I think I'm going to do. Like, tighten both screws. I'm running into just where they're both... I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good idea. Now, it pushed out a little far for my liking. Doing it that way. It's okay. We'll try this again. Try the next thread. All right. I'm going to rotate this one because it's just going a little too far. All right. Another 90 degree. I'm going to try rotating the nut while I'm in here. Ooh, that's feeling good. That's feeling good. I kind of like that. I'm liking where I'm at now. So I had both sides loose, and as I got them both engaged, I turned the second nut down a little bit, and now I'm going to put in the screws, and I think I like where that is. I got to use a ball hex now to put the screws in, but that's okay. Bearded Bucket, yours is not a Mercury. I guess I didn't look at it close enough. I assumed it was a Mercury. I knew it was Ender 5 frame based. Pretty done with the Ender, or you're pretty done with your V0.2, and you want to get an Ender 3 to build a Ender 3 NG. I think that's going to be one of the first builds we do in the new studio is an Ender 3 NG. You've been hovering, get me a bread. You've been hovering over the buy button for days, and that kind of pushes you over. Awesome. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, you said you don't push it very fast. Yeah, okay. Yeah, honestly, and part of the thing with mine, because it's Ender 5 Plus, the only prints I've really done with it have been like 0.8 or 1 millimeter or 1.2 millimeter nozzles. So I'm really not pushing the speed because I'm flow rate limited. So, you know, is what it is on that. Tighten these down. All right, I'm going to try tighten the other side down a little bit so we can get a little preload here. Oh, yeah. We're going to get some this time, I think. It's still 94. Welcome. Still just too easy. Too easy. I almost feel like I need a washer under there, so fingers crossed, V2 of the NG project released by the time you get to it. Yeah, I'm really hoping so. I've talked to RH3D a little bit about it, and so I think there's solid potential that that's going to be the case. Happy to see you finally got the printed parts. Yeah, still not the way I wanted to, but they're here. Thank you for trying to help. I think we just ran into the slicer not keeping up with my artistic vision. So, is what it is. I know what you're doing wrong. Got a quick video for me. All right, cool. Let me lube up the second one then, and I'll give the second one an attempt, the x-axis, because I got to do them both anyway. And maybe we can meet in the middle on what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, all right. I will move on to the x-axis and we will catch in between. Functional enough, we're just too fancy for current slicer tech. Exactly. Exactly. Too fancy. We're too fancy. If nothing else, this thing moves a surprising amount of grease for how small it is. Alright. It's fun trying to help, honestly. That's good. I was frustrated, but I'm glad you could have some fun with it. How'd everything go with the Open Neptune project? I need to finish that video. I've got it. Nuno, welcome. I've got that largely done. The machine's running. I've been having problems with the Neptune, and it's not really the Open Neptune project's fault that I'm having problems. Oh, this one feels like it's going to be way better. Why didn't I get a notification? I don't know. Ask YouTube. YouTube being YouTube, unfortunately. All right, let me see. This one feels like spot on. A little tight. A little too tight, but let me loosen it up just a hair. I need to get the Discord going. I'm going to set up a Discord. If this one feels like it's going to be a lot easier. I'm already getting to a point where I feel like this one is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Let me tighten this just a hair. Tighten. Yeah. This one. Pushing grease out like that looks like you're popping a massive zit, basically, I think you're saying? Yeah, it does. This one feels so much better. Yeah, so the Open Neptune project, zero issue, well, a few minor issues with the Open Neptune project I ran into on my Neptune 4, but honestly, It's all down to the Neptune 4, where I'm just not happy with the machine. Are you worried about moving with the Milo? I've got some ideas about how I want to reinforce the machine. I'm going to be doing a whole video about how I'm moving stuff, I'm sure. So, because I'm going to be like printing and designing some like reinforcement parts so that like load is taken off of parts in transit. I'm going to do a whole video about that probably on the main channel. And yeah, so I'm not too worried about the Milo, but I want it assembled. I want to get it fully assembled so that it's done and I don't have to worry about it. RH3D, your ears must have been ringing. We were talking about Ender 3 NG a moment ago. All right, that feels good. Now that feels good. This one, I'm happy with. Yeah, if the Neptune 4 had normal four-sided V-slots, I would tear it down for the Ender 3 NG. Oh boy. Oh, you mean a regular Neptune 4? Yeah. I thought I was thinking like a Max. Yeah, that would be sick. That's one of the problems with those machines. I made some gantry locks to hold a 2.4 gantry all the way from New Jersey to Florida. Made it fine. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, my 2.4, I'm going to make some gantry locks to hold the gantry in position and like to hold the tool head in position. Various things like that, you know, like the Mercury 1 with the big heavy cast aluminum bed. I'm probably going to make some support pieces to hold the bed in place or potentially take the bed out. I might take the bed out. So sounds like your build is already, your move is already more organized than the last time you moved. I hope so. I don't think so, but I hope so. Yeah. Drop my hex wrench. I hope it'll be. Ruby's concerned, and understandably so. Taking the beds out might be the best option. I think so. I think I'm probably gonna get a. I think like the Trident. I'm definitely gonna set up the Trident because it's got Wagos and everything. That the bed will come out pretty easy. So like the Trident and the Mercury 1. I think the beds are coming out. Probably the V0.1 and the 0.2, same thing. Because actually, I haven't talked about it yet on stream. I don't know if it was Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival on the way, either way on the way back from Rocky Mountain, or I also took the Cookie Cad V0 down to my dad's place in North Carolina last month or a couple weeks ago, and the Kirigami bed bent somewhere in there. I don't know if it was down in North Carolina or on the way to and from North Carolina because I didn't have it supported then. It was just in the car. Or if it was baggage handling in the airport, which I think is likelier from Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest because I didn't print anything when I got back. I just took it, put it in the car and moved. So, yeah. Or moved it. And then I didn't end up using it when I was in North Carolina. So I don't know. Replace it with a 5X CNC. It's way more rigid. Yeah, you are correct about that. You are most certainly correct about that. It is way more rigid. I like the Kirigami bed for fitting things, and also because I've got a UFO mod to put on my other machine for Kirigami bed. Like, Kirigami bed is fine for like printing. Day-to-day printing, you don't really need the rigidity of the CNC day-to-day. But transit, I can see that want and need. So, I don't know. All right. This one feels like I think it should. This feels, I feel preload here. That's what I was hoping to feel on the Y-axis. So very first try, we got that on the Y-axis. Great. On the X-axis, now the Y-axis I gotta get. This is like way too easy to spin. It's the problem. I went into our move from AZ to Georgia figuring I'd be more organized and on top of everything. It didn't work out. It never works out for me, so I'm really, really hoping this time it will. Because Ruby might divorce me if it's not. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to find out. Big Red 77, hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, that actually felt kind of good. Ooh, could use the Milo to make your own bed mount that would fit the UFO. That is an interesting idea. Might be a little advanced of a project for me and or the Milo, but I like where your thoughts are at. I like where your head's at. That is a great idea. And see, this is the thing. Like, people ask, what am I going to use the Milo for? And at the moment, I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to come up with things. 3D Medic Vince, welcome. I'm sure I'm going to come up with things, but I don't 100% know. And I'm really intrigued. You got to start, like the laser. I've got a CO2 laser, the X-Tool P2, and I don't use it enough because my mind thinks in 3D printers. When I'm thinking about how to tackle a project, my first thought is what do I print and what do I design for the printers to tackle the project. So as my capabilities grow, I need to learn when or decide when to apply things. So a bit nuts. Sorry I'm late. Was injured in a freak bowling accident. Hopefully you still have all of your fingers and didn't get bonked with a ball in the head. Welcome, welcome. Do you have experience with CNC? Nope. My only experience is with manual machining. So when you have a hammer, every problem is a nail. When you have a CNC, every problem is milled. Yeah, and I need to work on the, like, what's the right tool for the job mindset, not the, this is the tool I've got mindset. Though, that said, while I want to play with the Milo, I also need to balance how much I do that, because I don't want my videos to become unapproachable. I don't want to, like, I always want my videos to be inspirational to people, so they walk away from seeing whatever cool thing I might have made, thinking about what they can make. Even if they can't exactly copy it, they have an idea or something. And if I'm making a project where it's like beginning to end, CNC machined, blah, 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 that's way less approachable for a lot of people. Even though the Milo is accessible and buildable and blah, 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 still it's daunting to a lot of folks. So I got to balance that. But hopefully we can get like a PCBWay sponsorship or something, and then I can be like, well, you might not have a CNC like I do, but you could order it from PCBWay, you know? Like, we'll see. Have a laminator, a Cricut, and a few 3D printing machines. Lots of possibilities. Yeah, see, we have a Cricut. I've never used it. And I'm missing out on that, I'm certain. Ruby got a Cricut like a year ago, and like, she's used it a handful of times, and I never have. So there's a market for unapproachable content, too, for nerds like me. Yeah, there's always a market for that. You are right about that. And sometimes I'm going to throw that out the window and just have fun, making some cool stuff. Like, that will happen, but I don't want it to be every video. So, like, I got to balance. Tea break. Better late than never. Welcome, AP Design a Machine. Welcome, welcome. All right. How am I going to do this? I really feel like this needs to be seating in further and something's wrong. Just look at LTT server stuff. Sometimes just learning about it is nice. Absolutely. I love watching that stuff. And you know, just because you don't think it applies to you today doesn't mean that it won't tomorrow. Like, you never know how your situation or your needs or wants are going to change. Or your access to things. You might get a job at a place that, you know, you do IT at a place that does machining. Like, so you have the access to, like, have them make you things or whatever. Like, there's a lot of possibilities there. But, like, you know, I've got a full server rack that I'm not utilizing well. And there's so many ways I can improve it with just things I've learned from LTT videos that I should do. And I need to work on. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to try catch a different thread on this. Yeah, Gene. Gene's at the door crying at me. All right, I'm trying a different thread this time. All right. Now I'm caught in slip the odd CNC part in there with your 3D projects, that things that would normally be 3D printed anyway, eventually will people come around. That's a great idea. Yeah. Like, I could have 3D printed this, but I mean, like, this build. The part right in front of me here is milled aluminum. There's an aluminum milled component here. Here's the 3D printed version. You could build this machine with the 3D printed components, so... All right. Now I'll put this back in. It'd be cool to see CNC parts for printers too. Totally. Custom CNC tool heads. I totally plan to do that kind of stuff. If and when I'm ready, and my skills with the Milo, you know, I'm not destroying things, I absolutely plan to do things like that. I'm going to be doing the Chaotic Labs CNC kit on my Voron 2.4, but like, I'd love to do maybe a more budget-minded Voron build where like I CNC, where it uses a lot of CNC, but I do it myself or something like that. I don't know. Part of the problem there does come in that metal is significantly less affordable when you're not buying it in bulk like manufacturers do. So you'd be amazed how quickly your budget part turns into a very expensive part because, you know, it's very expensive to buy the materials. But then, yes, and anodizing. Yeah, I would love to play around with anodizing the parts then. Cut my teeth on a Bridgeport, and my father chained me to one when I was a lad. Yeah, my only experiences with Bridgeports or similar knee mill type machines, manual machining. So I played with them in high school metal shop. You know, I had a high school metal shop where I actually had a standing hall pass to my high school metal shop. Any day I had, Roberto, welcome, welcome. Anytime I had study hall, I was free, or a class was like early or something, I was free to go to the metal shop and just play, and do whatever I wanted because the teacher liked me and I was really intrigued by that stuff, not so much by every other class I had. There's also limitations in what you can machine versus what you can print. Yeah, it's totally different mindsets. Like, you have to think about tool access. That's like somebody was talking about the, you know, making my own version of the Physx CNC machined bed frame. There's some points in that I think you need like a fourth axis or something to get into, like, get the recessed areas machined and whatever. Yeah, so there's that. Like, there's definitely factors and different design approaches when you're talking CNC versus 3D printing, but that's okay. That's all part of the learning experience. I had to learn to design for 3D printing, so I just gave this a quarter turn. Any plans of getting an EDM machine? I'd really like to. That EDM, I didn't have enough time at Rocky Mountain. Like, I was way too busy at the show, unfortunately. I really wanted to talk to those folks more. I think the main dude on the project, we follow each other on Twitter. I would love to play with that a little more. I have, especially from my metalworking background, I've definitely got some ideas about that. It's another thing that I never really thought about. Yeah. Google Docs link is perfectly fine. Go ahead, send it, Millennium Machine. I'm wondering if it's not a tolerance issue on this part particularly. I don't know. Because no matter what rotation I put these in, I'm just ramming into an issue. Then AI is going to put you out of a job. Yeah, well, that's the world we're going to have to face at some point. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to get too deep into that topic because it can get murky quick. But I feel like we're probably going to have a lot of jobs lost to AI that are then going to come back to humans after. We're already seeing it some places. Companies like creating like suicide hotlines that run on AI, and then quickly realizing that was a really bad idea. So like, I think there's going to be a fair bit of that in the market of, hey, we're just going to replace this, and then realizing that wasn't a great idea. Send on Discord. Cool. I'll look in just a second. Let's see AI dig a ditch. Yeah. Don't worry. They'll make some robot that does it via AI. And then they'll pay $1 million for that robot, but they wouldn't have paid the person who would dig the ditch more than $20,000. Anyway. Alright, let's see what Millennium Machine's got for me. I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to. I work in tech support. For AI to replace me, users would have to follow instructions. And that's a fair point. Ruby is big into AI. She really is. She researches and learns about it all the time. She really loves it. Learning about it and whatever. Looking here. Accept. Alright. Downloading. Yeah. Automated diggers already, excavators already have for a long time. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Move my zip files over here. Where are we going? I hate when an application opens a menu, pops a menu open on another screen. Hate it. Why? Milo. I'll put this in my Milo project files. Trying to get better about keeping Nomad in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Trying to be better about file management in my projects. Too often I let like random files go. Yeah. A lot of files, you know. All right, let me... That's what I've done.
Then see if you can put your screws back in, then tighten everything down, and that should be good. Now, just a quick reminder, the protrusion on one side doesn't matter too much. As long as the thread screws are engaging, right, it should be fine. So this could be out here, it could be out here, it could be further in, that doesn't matter, so long as you're getting that preload in that direction.
Okay, this is exactly what I'm worrying too much about this. So, my fault. Alright. Used to delete everything, started to keep more data, and need to figure it out. Yeah, I've got a NAS where I keep everything kind of backed up, so. I love how Millennium Machine is in the chat with everybody helping out. Yes, so I'm doing what they just recommended. What Jake, right, who's in the chat right now, recommended, which is I threaded this through, and then I loosened this back nut up, and I spun it a quarter turn, and started the thread in again. So now when I tighten these down, I'm just preloading off of that. So that's fine. I'm not worried about that. Most of AI is a bubble. Yeah, that's reasonable, I think. So loosen this up a little bit. Okay, now I can do this. I'm going to throw some Loctite on this, so as I tighten these in here to where they need to be, I think they're going to be good. When FL Sun releases their S1, will be my 10th printer. Do I have a problem, or is that the lack of space a problem? The lack of space is a problem. For me, my problem is FedEx right now, because my S1, the S1 that FL Sun sent to me, is in Philadelphia somewhere. It's been out for delivery 3 times this week. It's been in Philadelphia since Sunday, and I still don't have it. And they keep telling me, today they told me that I refused delivery and requested they come back at a later time. Jackson Allen, I stole it. Nomad? Yeah, FedEx truly sucks. Honestly, I never have good experience with them. Yeah. He needs to answer FedEx's 3 riddles. Or riddles 3, yes. Yeah, so I'm hoping that I get the S1 tomorrow. Hoping. Thank you, Jake. Okay. Yeah, the X1 went... While Jake, while you were away, I don't know if you were listening in the background or not, but while you were away on making that video, the X-axis one went together beautifully, and I really like... The preload feels good on this one. Like, maybe a hair tight, but I can spin it by hand, so I think that's fine. I'm good with the preload on that one. This one needed a little love, for sure. Alright, this one feels like it's like at the same point now. I want to make sure I'm not cocking this, like pulling it harder on one side or the other. Yeah, I might loosen up the left side. If you can spin it by hand, the motors can spin it for sure. That is fair. That is fair. I just don't want to wear out the nuts too much. Like, this is just a hair too tight, I think. Jean, what are you doing? I wish I could get her on camera. She's at a spot where the camera won't see her right now. She's laying in front of the couch that she usually lays on. Oh. Oh, I know what she's doing. I'm gonna turn the camera in a second here. I know what's going on. All right. That's a little tighter than I might like it, but you know what? Alright, I'm going to give this just a hair of a turn. But it is a fine line between tight and great. I'm going to leave that. Giving it like a 64th of a turn on the nuts. The screws. I'm probably being too anal about this. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Okay, that I like. That I like. Jean's upset she can't jump on the table. She's upset she can't jump on the couch. Oh, she went away. Jeannie baby. She was laying in front of the couch, which she usually lays on, just laying facing toward it, just staring at it, but the box from the Milo is on the couch, so she couldn't get up on it. That's what was happening. All right, I can take these out of here. Take this out of here. Preload is set on my y-axis, and preload is set on my x-axis. You can always tune it after you install and tighten tolerances. And I would expect over time these bushing, these threaded nuts are going to wear, so it might need some fine-tuning adjustment later, I would anticipate. So that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. Even if they are hard to access later, whatever. That's life. Okay, cool. So we got that dialed in. That only took, what, 30 minutes? Oh man, it's an hour already. Whew. Wouldn't palm nuts be better? I don't think for rigidity's sake they would be better. For strength's sake. There's a lot of load forces in a milling machine. Ball screw conversion. I was wondering about that. I feel like we talked about that. Did we talk about that at Rocky Mountain? Jake? Not Rocky Mountain, Smurf. Ball screws. There's a limited space inside of here to fit a ball screw. Doesn't mean it's impossible. Doesn't mean it's impossible. Where there's a will, there's a way. I think part of the frame needs to be milled to make it fit. Potential. You got to build a second Milo so you can mill the parts from your first Milo so that you can put ball screws on your first Milo. That's it. Just build 2 Milos. We've found the answer. Let me try and reload this page and see if it did now. There we go. Now it's updated, Jake. Now we got it in the right order. See this anti-backlash preload tuning? That's what I was just messing with for the last 30 plus minutes. Yeah. Working on something, just not for V1.5, but if you want, SFK 0802 ball screws are 8mm, like the lead screws we use. Okay, interesting. I'm sure I'll be fine with this for now, but maybe down the road that can be a fun thing to play around with. Then you use the first one to mill the second one, so then you have 2 ball screw Milos. I like that. And then because the second one got parts that were more precise off the first one, you then use the second one to mill the machine parts for the first one again, so that they're even more precise. And then it's an endless cycle of precision improvement. We'll find another way in there to improve this whole process even more. Okay, pair of M5 by 16s going into this part. Let me check out the OBSBot angle. All right. Jake, I would recommend sending that video to Daniel, Modbot, as well, linking him that so he could get into Ouroboros of Milo Precision. Yes, just so he'll have a better starting place when he gets back to his build. The Milo is currently staring at the ceiling, so I don't know if it's gonna. Milo, OBSBot, tail air, whatever. Okay. You just described, Jake saying, you just described the whole evolution of machining precision. It all started with 2 rocks being ground against each other. You're right. You got to think about it. The first precision tool was made with an imprecise tool. Just took a long time. I always tell people that, like metal shaping. When I did a lot of metal shaping, everybody always asked, oh, you got all these fancy tools. It's like, you could build a whole custom car, a custom street rod that will win big awards with a ball peen hammer. It's just going to take you a really, really, really long time. But if you have an English wheel, a power hammer, and a Pullmax, they're not tools that are doing things you can't do by hand. They're doing that stuff significantly faster and to a better quality than you can necessarily do in a timely manner. That's it. So you can make all kinds of stuff with imprecise tools. They just help a lot. Okay. Let's get the OBSBot. When the OBSBot loses sight of me sometimes, it just freaks out. So it goes off and stares at the ceiling. Now it's good. Okay. Zoom in on this part. I love this thing. I really do. It may not be the best video quality around, but this is so much nicer than having to move a camera every time. I do think the next stream setup might have an overhead angle or something different, but for right now, this is an excellent setup. Really helpful. Okay, so we got 2 screws coming down through the bottom of this, going into this Y axis screw, or anti-backlash nut. All right, set that on there. I need a pair of M5 by 16s. M5 by 22. M5 by 12. 25, 20. Where the heck are they? Now I gotta one-up everything with the next setup. Yeah, I gotta keep one-upping myself. I talked to an animator today about making custom emotes for the streams. So like when people join as members or drop super chats, we'll get like Gene animated gene stuff popping up in the chats. So, which, by the way, I should do my job. We got 66 people in the chat right now. Thank you very much for being here. Please consider dropping a like. Super chats are always open. Memberships are available if you want to help directly support what it is we do. I understand if you can't justify doing so, but it's appreciated if you can. All right. AI could do that. No, not the way I like. We've played around with creating AI cartoon characters, and the problem with AI, give Mandic money. Thank you. The problem is consistency. Like, you can get AI to produce one excellent image, and then you ask it to, okay, like, make that character smile in the next picture, and it totally changes the character, and that, you know, really doesn't help. Nuno, subbed since day one, member for over a month now. Thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you to everybody who is a member currently. I understand. Like, thank you so much. Not all tools are proper or necessary. Yes. Like, I created the Gene character. We used AI for a reference model for it, and I adore it. Only because Jake told me to. Thank you, Andrew Rogers, for the super chat. It is appreciated. You know what? For you folks, there's not a ton of people here. I can show you. Give you like the idea of the character that will be coming. Bloop. This was the AI reference. Millennium Machine Works for the Broken End Mill Fund, which will happen. Yes, it will. Thank you for the super chat. This was the AI reference for the character, but getting it to animate or do anything with this, in my experience, no go. And this is the illustrator, human-drawn, hired-on, drawn character turnaround of the character that's going to be coming. So that's the Gene character that will be coming at some point. I'm not 100% when yet, but it will be. Nuno, Moving Fund, thank you for the super chat. It is greatly appreciated. And yes, all of these things will be going to the Moving Fund / new studio setup fund. Where the heck are my M5x16s? Did Gene knock it off? No, I don't see him. Soon TM, yes. Soon TM. Very much so. Like I said, I talked to an animator today. I'm just not particularly... here they are, right in front of my face. With the move, I'm not particularly in a position to hire an animator at the moment. So we talked about it, and we're going to figure it out. We'll see. Yeah. Animated Gene Fund. Thank you, Bearded Bucket. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. It is appreciated. The Animated Gene Bucket. There we go. Anybody who just joined in is going to be so confused. We'll also be moving soon. Yeah. Gene hid them. Yeah, she does that. Joe Show coming in with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Joe Show, for that. So we got Dark Third Dimension, Arn Flynn? Sorry, I'm sure I'm butchering that. Roth Bob, Wojecki, and Ben Winfield all coming on as channel members. Thank you to Joe Show for gifting those. Welcome to the memberships, folks. I'm working on projects and have no clue what's going on beyond the fact that it's about the cat. You know what? It's kind of fun. It's Al Bundy, of course. There we go. That's what we really need. Oh boy. All right. A little Loctite on these. Get our M5x16s into here. Ah! Dropped into some grease. All right. Ooh, I hope the one that's facing outward. It is good. Okay. I just got lucky, and the one that's facing the direction I will be able to access later, the preload nut, is the one that I need it to be facing the direction that it is. Yay! Pure luck. Pure luck. All right, tighten those down. Feels like something I shouldn't be tightening down right now, but I don't really have a choice because I'm not going to be able to access these afterward. Once I put the next component on. Come on. There we go. All right, that feels pretty good. Our M5x16s are in place. Z-Zone 5091. Finally, I've not been getting notifications when you go live. Sorry to hear that. I do plan. I know Nomad offered to help out with it. I'm gonna have to take him up on that. I'm taking him up on a lot of offers lately. I'm planning to do a Discord. I've been putting it off for way too long. I want to do a Discord so folks can get Discord notifications when I go live. I feel like that some folks have said that they prefer those. They're more reliable than. Feel like you missed so much. You really haven't, Z-Zone, because this is actually the second stream in this series. The first stream, there's a link in the description to it, was with Modbot yesterday. Modbot and I duo streamed the first stream in this series, so you didn't miss too much. Yeah, YouTube notifications are really unreliable. Can help with the Discord. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I've never set up a Discord, so I want to make sure I do it right. Okay, flip this over, and I can put on the other anti-backlash nut, the X-axis. Let's get the OBSBot angle in here. So there's our Y-axis one. Adjust this camera angle a little. Woo. Okay, Y-axis one. Now I'm going to put in the X-axis one underneath of here. Being sure not to knock these carriage dummies out of here for the linear rail carriages. I screwed myself by putting these in. I knew I was going to. Zero G Design is in the house. Welcome, welcome, Dutch dude. Welcome, welcome. All right. Are these also 5x16? Yes, they are. Okay. Right, I just put those. Now it's definitely not Gene's fault. It's mine. There we go. Just like a wood project. Measure... wood project. Measure 3 times, cut once, scope out the 3 times, and laugh once. Yeah. I really like, if anybody's not familiar with Zyla Foxlin, I'm wearing one of her shirts right now. Her Scrap Panda Trash is Treasure shirt. She has a shirt that I adore. It's a crop top that says measure twice, cut once, but it's a crop top, so it's like here, and then the cut once is like cut off because it was cut wrong. It's really a cute idea. I love it. Don't think I'm gonna be rocking a crop top anytime soon, though. Don't think so. I could if I just get over it. I could. But I love the Scrap Panda ones, so. All right. What I am going to do is take this rail out so I can get to the screws I need to get to. What am I hitting? Oh, I can't see the other side. There's the rubber stopper underneath there. Duh. Okay. Carefully take this rail out. I'm going to take this opportunity to use my handy little grease gun, put a little more grease in here, because it's not going to hurt while I'm in here to do so. Fine. A little more EP2. A little EP. It's also going to help to make sure that these bearings don't just go, ah, as I almost knock some of them out of there. Go flying out. Huh. All right. Ooh. Okay. Any advice on using heat press inserts for the first time? Take it slow and just focus on going in as straight as you can. And a quality tool makes a difference. Let the weight of the iron do it. Yeah, that's a solid take. That's a solid take. Okay, I gotta put a screw down in there. Mo grease, mo butter. Yep. Yep. All right. Get the chat back up here. One of these in here. Oh, you know, bearded bucket. No, Dutch dude. I've been meaning to message you. Is there a 0G? Not 0G. Sorry. Error. I'm brain farting. Damn it. The CNC toolhead. VZ. Is there a VZ toolhead CAD file? Yeah. The VZ toolhead CAD. Is there a CAD file for the Merc toolhead, or is it like the same as one of the other ones that's publicly available? Because I've got that VZ toolhead for that, and I want to figure out how I'm putting that together and get it modeled up for my personal needs. So I think I'm going to go with, I think I'm probably going to end up swapping that when I put the VZ toolhead onto, go to potentially the Fadis Dragon UHF. I need more flow. I really love Revo, but I just need more flow on that machine. I wish you realized, yeah. Okay. I will talk to Simon then. So, totally reasonable. Joe Show, when you got your Honey Badger V0.2 kit, not to share with no one. Yeah, understandable. I will see what he says about potentially getting my hands on that. So it would be a big help. But I understand. I know that like only the publicly available ones are the mock-up ones, which I get. I definitely get it. You know, take 2 days before Funzor had it listed as a product that they've never tested but are selling. Surprised they don't anyway. Are you the only Jake, you the only one who doesn't get Revo? Was changing nozzles really that difficult? No, it's not like it was difficult. I don't know. I just really like, I found it very handy. To me, Revo turned nozzle changes from a thing I didn't feel like doing Time to change your name to no one. It's not difficult, it's more tedious. Yeah. What it came down to is I would throw a print to a machine and I would look at it and go, gee, you know, I really don't want to send a print file, or this print would go so much better with a 0.8 millimeter nozzle, but I don't feel like swapping to a 0.8 millimeter nozzle. Sure, it would only take me 5 minutes, but I'm going to like burn my fingers a little bit, and then I got to hot tighten it, and then I got to adjust the offset, and I just wouldn't feel like doing it. And Revo took nozzle changes to almost a slicer setting for me. Like, oh, I'm going to go to a 0.8 on this. Cool. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Done. Like, it made it so handy to me. It's just not flowing enough. I really hope they come out with a Revo Volcano. A Revolcano. I don't know. Like, I understand that, like, if nozzle changes weren't annoying to you, there's really not a point to Revo. To me, I like it. I really do. I got one with the V0.2, but I feel like at retail price, I'd rather shell out a little more and get a Dragon or a Rapido. Yeah, like a Dragon high flow, not UHF, a Dragon high flow, which will fit into a mini stealth burner tool head and whatever, is going to flow a little better than a high flow Revo, but really not a lot. I've got the high flow Revo in my V0.2, the Cookie Cat one. And I'm really happy with it in that machine. And even that, I don't feel a need to change away from the 0.4 millimeter nozzle. I just like how compact and lightweight that hot end is in that project. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. I just wish it flowed better. That's the only thing. If it flowed better, I'd use Revo a lot more. It just doesn't flow quite enough. Revo is going to be essential for my 9-spool ERCF. That is a point too. Revo, because of its integrated heat break, also removes the heat break interface, so removes a point of failure. Yeah, it not only removes a point of failure, but it also makes the bore smoother and the whole setup. Nadir, welcome. It makes the whole setup smoother. So something like an ERCF where you have to tip tune is smoother. Because it can be shaped by the heat break a little bit better and just has a smoother transition as the new tip is coming back in while changing MMUs. If I was going to do an ERCF build, which someday I will get around to doing, I would almost certainly use a Revo hot end in it for that reason. Yeah. Okay. That's tight, I think. I forgot what I was doing, so I got to make sure I tighten this. The problem with the Revo kit is it doesn't come with high flow nozzles, so you're going to be paying more. You can get Revo with high flow nozzles. You can, especially now they've got the configurator. Like there's a whole configurator on their website, so you can order it exactly as you need. But I don't know. I've got a drawer full of them, so I guess yeah. Millennium Machine is saying, kind of spoiled, have multiple machines that I can have nozzle sizes that I need at all times. And that's a point, totally a point. Like, I've absolutely done that. Like, my Mercury 1, that's a big nozzle printer. I leave big nozzles in that all the time. E3D changed a bunch of the Revo prices. Yes, Revo prices have come down a little bit, too. There's trade-offs to everything. So, trade-offs to everything. I really like the Revo ecosystem. I can understand why other people are skeptical or don't really care. Okay, we got our second lead screw in here, or lead screw mounting block in. It's time to put heat press inserts in. I'm going to put the rail back in this so that I don't knock any of these bearings out. Choices are nice. Yes, we've got options, and that is a lovely thing. Ooh, why is this being tight? No. It's pushing a bearing out. Why did that just happen? All right, I think I need to put the bearing guide block in here. Get in there. All right, you back in place. You in there. Yep, pushed out a couple bearings doing that. That was weird. That's what I get for trying to put it in without putting the dummy rail back in. All right, let's put the dummy rail in. All right, dummy rail is in. Now I'll guide it in with the dummy rail. Why it's catching? It's like a burr on the end of this. There's not. But it feels like there's a burr on the end of this rail. It's catching. Okay, it went. That was weird. Okay, we're in place. I don't know what just happened, but we're here. Okay. Now I can set this assembly aside and we can work on... That's the wrong rail. I gotta take it back out. I just put one of the 500mm rails in. Oh, hell. It's gonna be a really well lubricated side. It's gonna be a really well lubricated side. Grease, grease, grease. My little grease gun. My new favorite frickin' thing. My new old favorite thing. I'm having a lot of VFA issues with my Mark IV. I should contact them. Contact support. Yeah, I've had to somewhat rebuild my Mark IV already. Issues I ran into on my Mark IV was PTG parts creeping. Bad. PTG parts just did not hold up for me. I don't know if you've had that problem, or did you build your Mark IV from a kit, Dutch dude? Because my Mark IV came assembled with the PTG parts, and I've run into my extruder stopped extruding well because the tension arm on the extruder mechanism, I couldn't see it deformed, but I reprinted the parts in ASA and reassembled it with the ASA parts, and it works beautifully now. And then my Y-axis, the bed. The Y-axis belt came loose. I mean loose, really loose. It was skipping teeth on the belt. And I tightened it, sent a print to it, and it happened again. Did get the kit and use CFASA. I contacted them before I built it, and since you were in the enclosure and recommended, see, I'm printing ASA on it in the enclosure, but they shipped me a complete assembled machine, and it just needs to be ASA. What happened is actually they're right here. These clamps for the Y-axis belt. Whoop. These Y-axis, you probably can't see these. But there's a groove in here. There's a groove in here that the belt goes into. And then there's a screw that goes in and locks the belt in place. And that's the focus point. It was just loose. I could literally grip the belt. When I took this out, I slipped the belt into it. I gripped the belt, and I could pull the belt out of the teeth of this. So it just gave. I printed it in ASA. Now it's fine. So is what it is. Normal to deform an enclosure. Yeah, PTG does not hold up well in an enclosure. Is what it is, but yeah. Design-wise, these parts are sick. Like, their design work is really impressive. They have some different techniques that are really cool. Great designs. Totally agree on that. I think PTG for bed parts isn't going to hold up at ABS temps. Totally. And like these are mounted to the bed frame, so the heat from the bed is heating up the bed frame, which is heating up these. People love their first purchase mods for Ender stuff. Feels like changing to ASA is the first mod equivalent for Prusa. Yep. I don't... For my purposes, for my needs, you know. Whoop. I'm almost knocking. I'm going to flip this over because I'm going to knock these carriages out on this side. I don't know why they use smooth idler on the tooth side of the belt. To them, I guess they haven't really seen an issue. They recommend a 20mm OD if you use a tooth side. I don't know. Has anybody played around with modding a toothed idler into there? I have some VFA issues on mine too. Not a lot. Nothing that's like crazy to me, but I do have some. Okay, we are on to heat pressing parts now. I'll take the gloves off and get the grease out of the way for now. For the moment, anyway. Okay. We've got 2 M3s to do and 4 M5s. Welcome back, Nomad. Welcome back. We got a M3 insert in there right now. Heat press insert. Now I need this end piece. Arthur, welcome, welcome. Hello to me in chat. Welcome, Arthur. Oh, had to step away just when you started talking about a potential Discord server. Well, welcome back. Yes, I definitely want to get the Discord servers going soon, so I got to work on that. Got to work on that. I'm lazy and got to push plastic fast lately, so I'm all PTG and PLA on my Ender 3 V3 SE until I build the Ender wire. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, these go in here. A little hard to start these because they got the design of this part has is using the bridging method. Of the holes are completely occluded. You can't see light through the holes. Let me punch one out quick. Now you can. So there's like one layer of material there. So put Discord behind $1 a month Patreon tier, especially if you'll be active. Yeah, I thought about that. I got to figure out how to handle that. I thought about doing a Discord only, or like members and... I thought about doing it members and patrons only, but I don't love lock... And that's the hardest part for me. Like, I don't do well with Patreon. I really, really need to grow Patreon to make my business more successful. But it's so hard for me to lock things behind paywalls. There are ways to... there's also tiers within Discord, so I can create... I know there is that. I could create like a section that's open to the public and then a section that's patron only. So yeah. I know that's possible. I'm definitely in a couple of hidden Discords. Here's the other part I need to put inserts in. Oh, these are M2.5 inserts. Damn it, I put M3 inserts. Well, all right. I got to cool off my my press now. You can also just turn the Discord into a Patreon. We've learned our lesson. We're not using that technique anymore. Yeah, like especially those where I need to start the M5 inserts into those holes. It's not great for that, but you know, live and learn. I didn't get around to tweaking that. I left it because I was like, oh, I don't use that method, so I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. And now I see why I wouldn't like that. Oh, Discord supports paid tiers. It's much easier to to manage. Yeah, my problem is I don't like spreading out that kind of stuff. Like, I have the problem right now, you awesome folks here, channel members on YouTube. Love that I have channel members on YouTube. It's awesome that you folks are here. When I post a video early, I would like to be able to give you folks access and my patrons access. And it's like hard to manage that. YouTube doesn't make it as easy as they could because they have channel memberships. Why should they make it easy? Yeah. It's hard, like, splitting the audience effectively. I got to work on that. On the best way to handle that. Okay, I need to wet this sponge so I can dry off this insert. Dry off, not dry this insert, cool down. Okay. Oh, you know, I just realized we're like how far into the stream and I haven't posted that we're live on Twitter. Oops. Whatever. I am so bad at being a streamer. Just pop out a message there on Twitter for anybody who did miss. Never wet your sponge with IPA. Yeah, that's not too. I have too many Discord servers. Yeah, I know that's a problem. That's part of like the whole thing. That's why I held off. I'm like, I don't want to be another Discord server, but I see the value in it, you know? How long do you plan on streaming? I'll be here at least till 8, I think, at this rate. It's looking like till 8. So, another hour 20 probably. Another hour 20 probably. Yeah, I held off on Discord for a really long time, so I don't have a ton of Discords that I'm in, which is, you know, a factor of it for me. Discord overload syndrome. That sounds like a real world problem these days. As long as you're not doing the @everyone, I am not doing the @everyone. Handling Discord spam bots is fun these days. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. Yeah, no, that whole @everyone stuff, it drives me nuts. I will not be doing that. I will try and make it like optional that you get notifications when I go live or whatever. Pressing. Alright, 1 M5 insert in. Why does Clipper not have arc moves by default? I don't know at this point. I'm assuming potentially a hardware issue because you can run Clipper on pretty much everything. And there's potential that maybe not all main... Oh, no. I actually do know the answer to this now that I start to say it out loud. The reason is because not all mainboard processors can keep up with the commands for arc moves. So, because you can run a Clipper on anything from like an 8-bit old Arduino board up to current fast processor 32-bit ARM processor boards, those older boards wouldn't be able to keep up with the G2, G3 arc commands. I believe that's the issue and the reasoning. If you take me up on the offer, we'll make sure the whole thing's low maintenance. I will be taking you up on the offer, Nomad. We should do that dinner you were talking about, and we can chat about it. Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, for like all of my needs, I want G-Code Arc. But then for those particular use cases... All right, that's 2 in. Get a little bit of gunk that's squeezed out of here. Yeah. I use the @here tag more often, as it only tags people who are online at the server at that point. That's a good idea. I don't ever see that one. I don't think I do. Well, I don't know. I have notifications on a lot of stuff turned off on Discord. Like, I have a few that I check actively. And then I only go to other ones when I kind of need support or help. So. I need to get the CNC kitchen inserts set up, because his are so much better than the ones that I have. Have a special edition Positron sticker for me. Awesome. I've been surprised how well the Positron video did, because it's on Mandic Labs, you know, so. Which I'm glad. Aside from a couple of, like, people who just don't get it, but you know, that's gonna happen. Printing out stealth press. Awesome. Just texted you on X. Awesome, Nadir. I'll check after stream. Nadir, I think I'm probably gonna do a video about your I haven't told you yet. I'm probably gonna do a video about your screen files for the SVO8. I was thinking about it. I wanted to do some like a mod video on the SVO8, and the only thing I'm particularly worried about is the screen. I hate that screen. I ordered and have a big TrueTech screen I got in to use with your files, so I might do like a Mandic Labs, this channel, video about it as I drop the insert again. But yeah. Alright, last of the M5 inserts for the moment. Cool. I can swap this. I gotta figure out what filament is gonna match the SVO8 well. That's one of my challenges with that. What color filament is gonna match the SVO8 well? Ooh, added a clipper expander to my SVO8. More things to add to it. That's a good idea. I don't really have need of that, but that's a good idea. I'm sure the SVO8's not going to make the move with me. I'm sure I won't be keeping it. But nothing against it. Just, you know, just don't see myself keeping it, transporting it across country and all that. So we'll see. We'll see. I like that they didn't use a black frame. Makes it look nicer. Nomad, dibs on the SVO8. Maybe that can be your payment for setting up a Discord for me. Just rebuild it with all Chaotic Lab parts. Yeah? Nah, the Chaotic Lab parts are going on my main 2.4 because that's my machine I use the most. All right, those are pressed in. Now I got to swap over to the 2.5 insert tool. Caleb, welcome, welcome. How's it going? It is going. Making good progress on the Nomad, on the Milo build. Making good progress on the Nomad build. God damn. You're on my mind now, Nomad. I can't stop thinking of you. The Milo build. I haven't really shown the spindle on stream. I haven't really shown the spindle on stream, this stream on my channel yet. So here is, let's switch cameras. Boop. Here's my remix on the Milo spindle housing. Yeah, so I made a hex face version, obviously, and I added these little flutes to the side just because I can't leave anything alone. I also modified the back, so it's got this kind of like dip recess in it. Because again, I can't leave anything alone. Zoom in on the first layer. Yeah, it's Hilbert curve. It doesn't look as cool as it could. I wish that zoomed further, but here we are. That was fully zoomed in on that lens. I don't feel like messing with it. So. All right. M2.5 inserts. M2.5 inserts. Here we are. We're going to have a HOI version of that spindle mount. I don't know what that means. What am I missing? How is it I have 5 calipers and I can't find a damn one? If you find the answer to that, let me know. Because I can never find mine either. After plowing through 100 plus heat inserts, Critter 42, Naomi Woo's press is looking better. There's also Adam VLMP. The VLMP 2 is launching any day now. I've got the pieces right there to build a VLMP that I should have built forever ago. And I really need to build it. I could really use it right now. But yeah, there's that. And then there's the stealth. Heart of Iron. Oh. Yes, you will. Okay, that makes sense. I keep forgetting about the Heart of Iron. Yes, I will absolutely be switching to the Heart of Iron in the not too distant future, I'm sure. And also be making a hex-faced Heart of Iron one. Yes, you will see that. Trying to remember. Joe Show is asking, trying to remember the name of the filament sensor that adjusts flow on the fly and tracks your filament, among other things. Does anyone know the sensor I'm talking about? It sounds like you're talking about a filament diameter sensor, a filament width sensor, and I don't know. I know that Thomas Sunladerer made one, but I don't know of it adjusting flow on demand to match diameter. Alright, there's my M2.5s in. Those are so much easier to put in than M5s. Alright. Now we got to do bearing stacks in this guy. My calipers are always within arm's reach when I'm sitting at the desk, not always in the same place, and damned if I know where it is when I need it. Yeah. Like, there's always a pair here at the end of the bench, and I want to have a pair on my desk, but I used to have a pair at both, and now I only have one. I don't know where the other pair went. Have I ever seen the build instructions for the Mercury? I took a glance at them just because somebody was complaining about, like, I think in my Mercury video, somebody was like complaining that there weren't instructions because I had said there weren't instructions in the video, but I also said go check the website because they're updating it. So I went, looked at them, and was like, here's the link. There are instructions now. So I haven't looked at them much more than that because my Mercury is built. All right. Bearings. Where are the bearings at? Probably still in the hardware box. Bearings, bearings, bearings. All right. We got 2 non-flanged bearings and 2 flanged bearings that get pressed into both sides of this. I'll make sure this hole's good and clear. Petty Ruckspin, hello hey everyone, welcome, welcome. It just works, eh? Who needs instructions? Quite a few people. Quite a few people. All right. Oh, that's a nice fit. Oh, that's a nice fit. His bearings fit nice. All right, I want to get a socket to press this bearing with. Right back. Alright, I got a 15mm socket, so I can just tap these in. It's sitting on the outside of the race of this, so I'm not going to be damaging anything. Not going to be damaging anything. To tap this in just lightly. Make my life easier. Tap, tap, tappa. Tap, tap, tap. All right. So there's 2 non-flanged bearings that go into here, and then 1 flanged bearing goes in. All right. That goes in beautifully. Nice. A little loose, but you know. I'd rather that than too damn tight, and I got to hammer away on a bearing, so. Yeah, this side's a little tighter. This side's a little tighter. Deburr this hole a hair. Make my life a little easier. Have too many cracks. Fidget spinners from hammering in bearings. Yeah, well, I'm aggressive. What do you want? If this cracks, it wasn't going to hold up anyway. You need the CNC kitchen deburring tool. Yeah, yeah. Do you know if there's a big difference between ABS Teal and the Soval accent color? I don't know what the ABS Teal is. Oh, teal. ABS Teal? I'd imagine it's a pretty vast difference. Yeah, this side is a much tighter fit. Shrinkage issue. Shrinkage issue. Alright, I'm going to have to hammer on this a little. So let's move away from that camera angle and turn down the microphone for just a second. Okay. That's better. It was just the taper getting in there to start it was fighting me. Once I was like able to get them good and square in, they went in easy. But just took 1 or 2 whacks to get it to seat a little bit. Cha. It ended right when you said that, Nomad. Yeah, well, music goes hard. Yeah. Thank you to Epos Vox for the music. All right, time for a extrusion. 470 millimeter C-beam. 470 millimeter C-beam. Cool. That is this. That's what we're looking at. So, 4080 C-beam, but 470 millimeters long. All right. Now, this part, the motor mount part, goes on the face of here. And the... So, we're at this step. M5 by 12s going into this. Okay. M5 by 12s. Got those. Those go down through this hole. I'm going to quickly back to the main cam. Oh. Gonna thread this through this hole just so it's good and easy to get through. That's good. From the other side. Found a set of calipers, now need to find batteries. The eternal hunt. The eternal hunt. Alright. Now I got these here. Calipers are rechargeable. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I like that idea. Who makes those? Remove all your batteries before the move. That's not a bad thought, but I certainly hope that the things that need batteries, like that, I get rid of, or I don't know. I gotta figure that out. Man, stupid autocorrect. Yeah, autocorrect doesn't like my name. Doesn't particularly love my name. I know that. All right. So this goes on the end of this rail. My calipers don't need batteries. Yeah, well, aren't you fancy? Any opinion on the Kirigami versus extrusion bed frame for the V0.2? Get the Kirigami. I hate the extrusion bed frame on the V0.2 and V0.1. It's just annoying and fiddly. Kirigami is vastly superior. Or the Physect CNC machined one is more rigid than the Kirigami. It's not quite... I kind of have mixed feelings between the two of them, but either the Kirigami or the Physect CNC bed I would recommend going to over the stock design. I kind of wish they would just call the Kirigami like the default at this point. Kind of wish they would. All right. There's that. Yeah, I mean, you can use the bed extrusions for other stuff. I've never really used them for anything, but you could. Use the LCT screwdriver to get these a little tighter. Cool. All right. Now, next part of the instructions. Now it's the other end going on. Okay, the other part we just put on. I've got extrusions out the wazoo. All right, well, that's fair. Yeah, okay, that's fair. The extrusion frame is a more off the shelf part. That's fair. That's fair. I'm always forgetting that caveat with the Voron guys. Okay, so 4 of these are going to be M5 by 12s as well. Okay. Doesn't everybody extrude out their wazoo? Listen. Yes. And I too have extrusions out the wazoo, but wait. I walked into that one. I walked right into that one. Loving the chat and stream while I'm at work. Love to hear it. I appreciate that you folks, since I've started streaming, we've had an excellent community of modders, and modders of folks involved here, and just making for an excellent environment. Joseph Carver, it's a process of elimination. Yeah. With the thought of the Phoenix shouldn't be with that thought the Phoenix shouldn't be a Voron. Listen, yeah, I mean that's kind of reasonable. You got to use CNC parts or whatever. There's just a point where you can only stick to an ethos so much, I think. I don't know. How long have you been streaming? I mean, I've done streams for years, but just realized I'm still talking on the instructions. I've done streams for years, but I've actively been streaming on this channel for what, like a month and a half now? I think, something like that. A month and a half, 2 months. You can't get the recharge. Oh, okay. I see how it is, Nomad. There's a rechargeable set of calipers out there, but can't find the listing for it right now. All right. I see how it is. I see how it is. All right. Now this bearing block goes on the end of this, and those screws go through that. I have to want one. No, I'll find it, because I don't like getting things if I can't tell people other people where to get them. So maybe I'll look on like AliExpress or something. If you could shoot me the name of it, if there was a name brand to it or whatever. Trade calipers for the SV08. I'd like to be able to find it. He's gatekeeping the fancy calipers. I both like to be able to find things so other people can find them and I'm not gatekeeping them. And also, do you want to Loctite those? Instructions seem not to. Oh, it will be removed later. Thank you. I missed that. Thank you, Andrew. I missed that. It does say not to Loctite these yet. It does. It does. Thank you. That's what I get for not reading instructions. That's like when I was on stream yesterday with Modbot. He was like reading the instructions thoroughly. And I was like, what is this black magic? What are you doing? Plus, Amazon affiliate links are a must for creators. Yes, that is the other factor to it. Yes, I got distracted, but I was going to say that affiliate links are the other thing. Yeah, Just cross-thread it. Free Loctite. Yeah. Sec. Yo, live stream. Welcome, welcome. You found them. All right. Nomad found them. And the link is dead. Rechargeable calipers are cool, but it's unlosable calipers I'm holding out for. That's fair. That's fair. Post them in the Discord. Listen. He's got to make the Discord first. Okay. Fasten the MGN 15 rails to the Y-axis, screwing with M3x10s. All right. When I watch you, I always get a feeling you're gay. I'm just curious. No, but I'm an effeminate dude. I am. I'm married to a woman, but we joke that we're both more than a little bit gay. So I just have a very effeminate nature to me, and I don't care about that. So I have no shame in my existence. I'll make it right now. Don't tempt me. Let's talk about it first. But attaching an air tag to your calipers, that equals that is a great idea. I could design like an add-on caliper clamp that has an air tag. It would be ridiculous sticking off of this like a wart or a tumor, but we could do it. In my country, which is much more conservative, I don't see people with your temperament. Yeah, reasonable. I'm super gluing my calipers to my forehead so I stop losing them. William, welcome, welcome. The company is dead. You know what it is? Big Battery put them out of business. Big Battery put them out of business because calipers are the only thing keeping watch cell batteries in business at this point. I can't find tools that are Sec, thanks for answering. No problem. Can't find tools that are right in front of you. That's a constant problem. Big 2032 took them out. Yeah. All right. Where are my other dummy rails? My other dummy rails here. All right, I gotta get this out. Damn it, I acknowledged it, so now I'm on the chopping block. Oh no. All right, I gotta get these rails out of here because they gotta go on here, so. I keep a ton of CR 2032s in stock as an automotive locksmith. That's reasonable. That makes sense. My Prius burns through batteries in the key fob. It drives me nuts. My Prius absolutely burns through batteries in the key fob. Oh, Adam Savage's ruler on his arm. I got it. I get you now. I don't have any space for that. Some red dots use those batteries too. Yeah, but red dots often use those other, what are they, like the 123 batteries? General Tools 148B, that's the model name. All right, oh, General Tools is gone? General Tools was like a big name in like generic tools. My Subi has had one battery for almost 150,000 miles. Love it. My Prius, I've put 3 batteries in the last 6 months, I think. The key fob batteries. General Tools isn't gone, but that model is. That stinks. That stinks. Thanks for looking anyway. Now you got me thinking. I never thought about it. I'm gonna have to look for rechargeable calipers. Somebody else has to be doing it. I'll lubricate these a little better. Will you CNC a microphone cat collar for Gene? Ooh, that's an idea. Some Teslas burn through batteries, literally. Watch out, Nomad. I think the main issue with most calipers is they only turn off the screen, not the internals. That's why they die. I have a really good run with the battery in this, so. You have a Prius. My consideration for you took a hit. Yes, I drive a Prius. Yep, that's people are always shocked to learn that. It's definitely one of the things about me that is the less masculine. My last day job that I had, the shop I worked at was 70 miles one way. The last day job I worked at was 70 miles one way to that job. So I had a Subaru Legacy, and I loved that car. 5-speed, non-turbo, just 4-cylinder, the 2.5. I really liked that car. I really did. Obviously all-wheel drive. It's a Subaru. But then when it came to drive, sounds like a joke, to be honest. It does. The hot rod builder, if it drives a Prius. Yeah, I'd pull into the hot rod shop every day in my Prius. But driving 70 miles one way every day, racked up miles, and getting like 25 to 28 miles to the gallon in the in the Subaru got old fast. So effectively going to the Prius saved me my car payment. Like the increase in my car payment, I think. I went from like one car payment to a slightly more higher car payment for the Prius, and it saved me on gas enough money to pay for itself effectively. Pushing bearings out. Lubricate those as much as I can. Went from paying $50 a week in gas to paying $12 a week for charging your Tesla. Yeah. You guys are getting good gas mileage? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Ruby and I already talked about it. When we go to Portland, I'm going to be swapping out the Prius for a pickup truck. So I'll be good. Don't worry. I'll be back to the teens in gas mileage very soon. I'll be back to the teens of gas mileage quite soon. Yeah, we talked about it when we get a Rivian. I ain't making Rivian money. I wish. I love the way Rivians look. But also, I want something with an 8-foot bed so I can put a sheet of plywood in the bed. Because the main factor with getting a pickup truck is for like my projects, being able to transport wood and whatever, and then like our house is bigger. The new house we're getting is bigger than our current one, so we want to get like Facebook Marketplace furniture and stuff to fill it out a little bit better. Maverick, I like the Maverick. The Maverick's cool, neat. Joel had one of those. Joel Telling. But still too small of a bed. And they're hard to get. Like, the Ford dealerships mark up the Mavericks, or at least the last time I looked at them, they were. Didn't you put some 2x4s in the Prius? I have a handful of times. I can fit a 10-foot 2x4 in the Prius. I can fit a 10-foot 2x4 in the Prius, but it's not fun. It's getting really old to do. And I can't fit plywood in the Prius. So, like, the biggest sheet of plywood I can fit in the Prius, it can't be wider than like 36 inches. And not even that. It's got to be like 35 inches. Just there's no way to fit it through the back any wider than that, and that's so limiting. Two-door Tacoma's great. I want an 8-foot bed is the biggest thing. I do like Tacomas. I do want an 8-foot bed, so we'll see. I don't want anything new. I'm going back to something old. You know, I'm an auto tech. I can take care of whatever the heck I get. I'm done with all the modern electronics in things. I just want to go back to a simple vehicle. Home Depot rents trucks. They do, but it's $20 at a shot, and you're limited on time. It's just going to be so much handier. We need a second vehicle anyway. We only have the Prius right now. So we need a second vehicle anyway. So rather than get Ruby another car, we're just going to get me a pickup truck, her the square body Chevy. I'd love to find an old square body. I love square bodies. My first car was a square body, K5. 84 K5 was my first car. So 78 C10 in your future. I was looking on Marketplace in Portland, and I found a 66 GMC, 8-foot bed, standard cab. Obviously, is all they were at that time. With the 305 V6, 305 cubic inch V6. I found that out there for like $3,500 for that truck, running, driving, not a project. Like, don't get me wrong, not that it didn't need work, but like running, driving. And I was like, holy crap, that's such a steal. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what I find. Too bad Key Trucks has a 6-foot bed. I'd get a Key Truck, but they're just too freaking expensive. They're just too expensive for what they are. I really like the Key Trucks. Key Trucks, whatever the hell. They're really cool. Really are, but they're just too expensive. Importing them or finding one, it's just people want astronomical amounts for what they are. You'd be fine with a truck in Portland. It doesn't. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a 2-wheel drive truck, not 4-wheel drive. Like, I'll manage. You know, for how much it snows in Portland, I'll be fine. Import and duty kills the value of the key. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just not worth it. Which is a lot of our automotive market problem in the U.S., but, you know, that's a whole nother discussion again. The chicken tax. The chicken tax. One of the weirdest things. Okay, M3T nuts. Too bad the IMV isn't available. Yeah, there's a lot of great vehicles other places we just don't get here. All right, rolling nuts. Are these M5? Yeah, those are M5. M3 roll-ins. If it does snow bad, nobody knows how to handle snow. We are talking Portland, Oregon. Yes, Portland, Oregon. Cars and coffee tax, yeah. To fit in there, you need a Subaru Baja. Too short of a bed, yeah. Yeah, we are talking Portland, Oregon, and yeah. I work from home, so like the low fuel mileage and like lack of not being great in snow with a 2-wheel drive truck, who cares? For me, anyway. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5 M3 roll-ins going in. All right. Last one. Cool. Gotta bail. Eric, thank you for being here for the long haul of the stream anyway. Nobody knows how to drive in Jersey in good weather. As a lifelong Pennsylvania resident, or not lifelong, but most part, I agree with that sentiment. Thank you for being here, Eric. and we will see you next time around. I only understand why you call an F-150 and such a truck when you saw one in person. Freaking huge, unusable in the UK or EU. Yeah, yeah. Our vehicles are definitely a whole different animal. Our trucks are ridiculous these days. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, where are the M3x10s? M35. M310. Oh yeah, Philadelphia. We got our share of have no idea what's going on drivers. I'm pretty sure almost every day I'm wandering around going, what the heck is going on out there? People in most places are not good drivers. As a former truck driver, I believe you. I know when I used to drive, I only drove a box truck, but when I drove a box truck, always drove me nuts when you're like leaving braking room in front of you for the car in front of you, and then somebody just pulls into that space. It's like there was a reason for that. Oh, how many dBs does this milling machine put out when milling aluminum? Kind of chuckled when you were talking about fan noise yesterday. You are not wrong. A lot. It's not going to be quiet. So, but that is a good observation. That is a fair observation, but I kind of really want to put in... It only shows putting 5 roll-ins in here. I have no idea how loud it's going to be. We'll find out when we get to it. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Philly Roads has my... Alright. I'm tempted to put all the roll-ins in. And just like overdo it, but yeah. Fifty boats towing rowing boat, or 50 trucks pulling rowing boat trailers blew your little mind. That makes, I can see that. That's a culture shock and a half. That's a culture shock and a half. Who broke the like button? Oh no, Toma. Somebody broke the like button. We're going to have to see if we can get people to beta test that for us. Thank you. Getting a water-cooled spindle helps. Ah, Nadir, you're out. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Wow, that is a serious roll-in, or a serious alignment tool y'all put in for these rails. It snaps onto the extrusion. Alright, I'm just going to put this together the way it is. I'm going to put it the way the instructions call for it. Do we have a move date yet? Just G. Likely the first week of July. It's looking like. It's looking like the first week of July. That's the goal. That is the goal. Can't be culture shocked when I'm terminally online. Yeah, well, that's our modern problem. That is a modern reality problem. I don't know, though. Like, I watch a lot of British, like, TV and movies and stuff, and then when I went over to England for the first time, I was still culture shocked by things. Like, I don't know. Something different about experiencing it for yourself. There's a different thing to it. With, like... it's not the same culture shock as like just totally being taken by surprise. But like, I don't know how to say it. Seeing things you've seen only online or in videos or whatever, or movies, there's a different type of culture shock to that. Okay, we got these in place. One of these in place. Now the other one. I have 5 more M3 roll-ins. Still Game, a Scottish comedy, really funny. Cool. I have to look into that. I'll have to look into that. Maybe my father-in-law will like it. My father-in-law's Scottish. Or maybe he's seen it. Who knows? These extrusions have a hollow core that we can fill with cement or epoxy, don't they? That would help with vibration and sound. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I would worry more about the frame and base extrusions for that. But, yeah. I don't think we're going to be getting to that on my go around here. I don't have time for it, really. I don't think. But I considered it and or would consider it. Apologies, you got to duck out. Thank you for being here anyway. It is greatly appreciated. Millennium Machines Works official in the house. Thank you for helping us through this and for being awesome and making the Milo. So thanks for being here, and we'll catch you next time around. I have a feeling we'll probably stream. I think probably the next stream will be Sunday morning, I'm thinking. Do my Sunday morning stream for you folks in the UK and the EU. So I'm liking that, and it seems like we get a really good turnout on that. So what would be a good filler in your opinion? Honestly, I don't have a good answer for that. I'm going to look into it a little bit more and learn and maybe ask the Millennium team what they've seen or been happy with. If they even bother. So I got to research it more. I know, like, what I'm used to, like bigger equipment, I'm used to just sand. But this is a different animal. Finally got my Milo on Tuesday. Marty the Steins, welcome, welcome. Finally got my Milo on Tuesday, but I realized I need a dial indicator, don't I? Did you get you got an LDO kit? It comes with a dial indicator. LDO kit comes with a dial indicator. It's in the box. It's in the hardware box, I think. No, but it's in one of the boxes. It comes with a dial indicator. Epoxy granite, crushed stone, and granite is the go-to. Cheap and fairly dimensionally stable. Okay. Got a duck. Thank you, Bearded Bucket, for being here. Always a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. What time is it? 7:30. Okay. Got a little bit of time left. We got a little time left. I bought the spindle and inverter separately. Got it from Matter Hackers. It should be an LDO kit all the same, just with their tweaks and such. So yeah. The box with the end mills has the indicator. Yes, that. It's around here somewhere. If you go through your parts, you should have it. My other these rail guides. Yeah, I would like to fill the extrusions, but that's a later thing, which probably means never. But quick question: do you know of any nozzle that is magnetic? I mean, hardened steel nozzles. So hardened steel nozzle should be. Yeah. Ooh, FYI, Matter Hackers has kits in stock in their warehouse. Let me check the website, because I've got an affiliate link for Matter Hackers. Look at that, they are in stock. I will put that link in the description. Thank you for mentioning that. I didn't bother checking there yet. Alright, drop it in chat. So Matter Hackers has Milo 1.5 kits in stock, and I'll add that link to the description as well. It would be cool to see it before and after filling and other mods down the line. Excellent call. Excellent call. That is a great idea, and that'll be a good fun video to do on this channel. Playing around with like filling the frame, doing the heart of iron, which is the metal mount for the spindle. That's a great idea. So we'll play with that. Good idea. That'll definitely be in the next studio down the road, but yeah. Okay, back to where I was. Uninstall. Okay, so I gotta butt these rails up against this bearing block at the end. That's why we pre-installed it. Spindle and inverter are not included with the Matter Hackers one. Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. Good to know. I don't get Ultimaker lately. Brand recognition and support are what it comes down to with Ultimaker. A brand like that lives and dies by the customers who just want to buy a machine and go, and if they have any problems, they have somebody to call. Those are MGN 15 rails. Yes, they are. They are. It all comes down to that. Like, they have materials, they have support, and they have a whole ecosystem on Ultimakers that just they can easily support. Maker Viking, hey! They're in so many universities. Well, there's also a factor there with universities, schools in general. Any schools that are getting like federal funding, probably. I'm not guessing on this. There's more stringent guidelines and such that they have to follow. They have to have U.S. support. They have to be U.S. retailers of their brand. And there's also some security considerations in place there as well, especially like government organizations. There's big time security in place. Like bamboos do not fly with government organizations. I hear the Prusa is solid. I really like the Mark IV for the most part. I've had my issues with it, but for the most part, I really like the Mark IV. I really want to play with an XL, and hopefully we can get a chance to do so. But yeah. But yeah, that's part of why Prusa bought Printed Solid, was to have a U.S. side support and retail arm so they could get into schools. Because as a foreign country foreign company, they just weren't really able to do that to the level they'd like. Did you reprint all the Y-axis belt parts? John asking, did I reprint all the Y-axis parts? Yes, I reprinted all the Y-axis parts in ASA and replaced them, and now it's running beautiful. So, looking at SGN 15s for a bigger positron. Interesting. Interesting. Not familiar with SGNs. Steve, welcome. Welcome in. Hello, hello. You missed all the fun of setting up the backlash or the preload on the anti-backlash nuts. All right. Now I can remove this end part and put the carriage on. All right. Now you come off. All inline linear rail system. I'm going to have to look at that. I don't know what you're referring to. Ordered one of those mini grease guns. All right. I hope you love it. I'm going to play around maybe this weekend, try and film like a quick video demonstrating it on a couple of rails, testing it out a little further on different size rails like MGN 7s. And 12s and 9s probably, hopefully. So, hope it works out well for you. Hope I didn't lead everybody astray. I've been using it all stream and I'm loving it for this. So. Be handy for general use. Anyway, yeah, I've been using it just to like lightly squirt some grease. I used it to squirt a little grease onto the lead screws. So. I wish I would have done that. I've owned that tool for 15 years and I never bothered to put EP2 in it. I wish I would have. Yeah. Alright. Get this off of here. Now I gotta pull these off. Go. And now the carriage plate goes on. Let's switch to the OpsBot angle and zoom out a little bit. All right. Carefully slide the Y-axis on. Think I should get one for the upcoming Enderwire build. I mean, it's up to you. I need to test it a little more, but I think it's really going to make greasing rails a lot easier. It depends how many builds you want to do. If you're just doing one build where you need to grease rails, not totally worth it. It's only $12, so it's not a big investment. Then you got to get EP2 grease, which is like $6-7 for a tube. But to me, I think it's worth getting. Okay, now to get this on here without screwing up the rails or the carriages. Yay! This will be fun. Okay. Which way does this go on? It goes this way. Yeah. Looking at the instructions here, I've got to slide this. Careful installing your carriages onto the rails. Improper handling can damage things. Yay! Let's get to this. Help if I get the camera angle I wanted to get on here. Don't mind me. Just very carefully trying not to drop ball bearings. Hey! Okay, one. I'm just going to ram it home. Hey! Okay. Yay. All right. All right, all right, all right. That looks like a huge pain. It really wasn't. I just had to be very careful to like line these up to the end of this. So as I was transferring from these to that, I just carefully, a little fiddly, really not that big of a deal. It helps that this piece is machined in the LDO kit versus the printed part. I'm sure that would probably have created some tolerance issues, I bet. But yeah, so, okay. Camera angle change. Boop. Cool. Now I got grease all over my hands. Oh. Okay. What am I on to now? Y-axis. So, how's this feel? Pretty good. I guess I could tighten these screws in the carriage blocks for the rails now. Does it say to? Let me get this bearing block back on here before I do that, just to keep me from loosening things up. What spindle do you have there? What kind of power and speed does it do? The spindle is a 110 volt spindle from LDO Motors. They are contracting with somebody to make it for them. So it's LDO branded. Don't know much beyond that. LDO branded. 110 volts. It is a 1 to 24,000 RPM spindle. So up to 24,000 RPM. And Jake from Millennium Machine was in chat earlier and said it's a 1.5 kilowatt spindle. So strength-wise, 1.5 kilowatt. Yeah. So 2 horsepower. Okay. They recommend either 1.5 up to 2.2. So maybe we could do an upgrade series on this eventually, and like, you know, put a duet board in it and fill the extrusions, put a water cooled 2.2 kilowatt spindle on it at 220 volt, and maybe do like the ball screws Jake was talking about earlier. I don't know, something to play with. Can't leave anything alone, right? That's about the max you can reasonably do on a household circuit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to convert to 220. In the new studio, I should have 220 available. I have it here, too, but I didn't get a choice in what spindle I got, so I did not get a choice. All right, now I can use thread locker. In the studio, I do have 20 amp circuits in here. I could do 20. I have 20 amp circuits behind me here, but yeah, I'll go to 220 eventually. Next thing you need is a Rack Robotics EDM. Yeah, we gotta figure that out. I think we do. I think we need that. We need to figure that out. I mean, it's so reasonable, too. Like, a kit is so reasonable. Bought a Vivor spindle kit and inverter. It's a 2.2 kilowatt. Can't get it all together and start. Can't wait to get it all together. Awesome. 220 volt with the X1C should heat up your bed faster. Yeah, I don't think the electronics will like it too much. I don't know if the bed is a fixed voltage on that, though. Probably. Antstar, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right. Tighten this in. Lathe and CNC is messy. They all have their place. Yeah, I'm a small lathe is a higher priority for me. Yeah, I used to have a small lathe and I really loved it. And I agree. I had a lathe for a while. I never had a mill of my own because to me a lathe was often more useful for me, for my needs when I was building cars especially. But yeah. Oh, the bed is 220 volt. Okay. Or 220 volt capable. Interesting. I mean, it does make sense that they would have like one. Lathe is the first precision tool that can make more of itself. That makes sense. I've heard that before. All right. Those are in. Give them a quick tighten. Wanted one of those tiny printers till he said it's not monochrome. Yeah, he's been having trouble with that thing. He's been having a little trouble with that thing. It's such a cute idea. I thought I ordered one of those, but I didn't. I thought I ordered one of those, but then like down the road it just turned out that I didn't. Okay, I'm going to tighten these. Do I get to yet? Maybe not. All right, so now it's lead screw. What time is it? Yeah, we got 10 minutes left. So lead screw goes in into our y-axis. I gotta grease my end of my lead screw a little bit. Lead screw goes in. Oh, I gotta put the lead screw, motor, and coupler together. Okay. I think I'll get a tiny resin printer. I want to do resin again for minifigs, but I don't want a big resin printer to deal with. Smaller ones are just right for my space. Understandable. I think I mentioned it. I forget where I mentioned it, but I did mention that, oh, you haven't seen that video yet. You'll see that video soon. I did a shop tour. I filmed a shop tour video, recently, and I mentioned it in there. We were going around and marking all of the machines that are not staying in the studio, what's not making the trip to Oregon with us, and I put a sticker on the M3 Max, the Anycubic M3 Max, and Ruby took it off. And I was like, wait, so you're saying you want to keep a printer? She's usually the one trying to get me to get rid of everything. Okay. All right, all right. Yeah. So we didn't want to be limited on size. You're moving. Yes, we are moving. Portland, Oregon. All right. I need motors. Motors. I need one of the NEMA 23 motors for this. Want so many of your machines, yeah. NEMA 23 motor and a coupler. Looks like you'd be doing a live test of the filament run out on the my wife is why I have a P1S and AMS. She kept asking me to print stuff for her daughter, her and my daughter. I had a multicolor printer and it worked. I use it on occasion. Yeah, my P1S is Ruby's. Or the P1S we have is really Ruby's. She still hasn't used it, but we'll get there. We'll get her there. We will get her there. Okay. I'll put a little Loctite on this so I can assemble this. Nina graphic in the corner says, yes, I'm moving to Portland, Oregon. Needs to be Portland, Oregon, because people keep asking, is it Portland, Oregon, or Maine? Oregon. So, yeah. That's a good idea. How'd your A1 die? Oh, yeah. Nomad's A1 died. Yeah. His hot end, I think, did a bleh. His hot end did a bleh. Dude has parking spot in Philly. You're not wrong. I do. You'll see it. You folks will see it all in the shop tour soon. Portland proper or across the river for tax savings? Nope. Portland in Oregon, but West Lynn. So West Lynn neighborhood. So closer to Oregon City. Oregon City closer to, but yeah. Okay. I see what's happening here. Okay. Back to the instructions real quick. So we're assembling the motor with the shaft on. And yeah, then sliding that through. I'm just looking at tightening. But, all right. Doesn't really say. It just says to Loctite this. So I just wasn't sure if there's like a depth I should be setting here or what. Oh, there's the flexible coupler depth. Duh. Swap nozzles so much it makes you nervous. Yeah, I've seen a few of the destructive blobs on those machines so far. My A1 is waiting on the heat bed replacement. I forgot to submit for the recall bed replacement. I only did so this week. I reached out to my contact at Bamboo and was like, hey, I don't think I ever submitted for my replacement bed. And they're like, that's a problem. You should do that. So I finally did that this week. Okay, now this needs to slide through. Modbot, how's it going? It is an adventure. I've been learning some stuff as we're going. You're going to have some fun with things. But I told Jake, I did Loctite the screws in the coupler. Yes, thank you. It did Loctite the screws in the coupler. The anti-backlash nut assembly, the tuning that we stopped before we got to yesterday, Daniel, is a little fiddly. And that was like the first 30 minutes of stream, well, actually the first hour of stream between, typical stream talk and actually getting it done. So, yeah. Okay, now I'm actually, after this second stream, I'm going to get to the point where we had hoped to be yesterday, Daniel. All right, that's through there, and backlash feels good. That's what I was looking for. It's through, and the backlash feels nice and tight. The preload, acceptably so. That's what I was hoping for. Curious if you Loctited through the printed parts at the end. It If so, how do you keep from getting it on the ABS? It's ASA. And I have really not found that to be a problem with ASA. I know it still has styrene in it, so like reasonably it should. It should still be a thing, but I haven't run into issue. So that's how. Also, Andrew saying you cannot emphasize enough how much the glue stick Loctite is better. You are completely correct. The glue stick version of Loctite, so much better. Real quick, before I get back to work, would it be better to reprint my ABS parts as ASA? No, it's not worth going through that effort. It's not worth going through that effort. I prefer, don't get me wrong, I prefer. Oh, wow. That's a little, like, wonky. I prefer ASA to ABS, but I would not say you have any reason to go and redo everything. No. No. All right, now I got to slide a shaft collar on here. Go light with the Loctite and shove it through the screw thread so you can wipe off excess. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it's in the threads, it's going to do something. I've tested ABS, Loctite on ABS and ASA. It damaged both. Okay. I haven't run into issue. I believe you. I do. I haven't run into issue. So. I believe you. I'm going to put a little Loctite on this. Quick. Depends on the formula. Some are less affected. I pretty much only use Polymaker ASA. Don't know, but I pretty much only use Polymaker ASA, so. All right, going through the bearing stack. You can do it. Oh, your grease gun got delivered. That was quick. Oh, it does not want to get through that bearing stack. I'm going to grease it to help it get through there, I think. There we go. Now it's through. Wow, why is that being tight? Come on. Trying to get this coupler through here. This is the problem with preload. It's like just a little more difficult to tighten everything, so. What did I just see in chat? What was 94 asking about? I just made some pegboard wall mounts in PGG because that's all I can make at the moment. When I finish my Enderwire, worth reprinting something better? Nah. Honestly, PTG is okay. I don't like it for motion systems and like printers or something where like it's under constant stress. But even for like a wall mount type of thing, like even if it's going to hold a hose or something with a little more weight, I don't think it's really a problem. All right. Oh, why are you being so tight? Might need to break out the rubber mallet. There we go. I don't know why that just fought me so much, but there we go. bit springy, yeah. In this case, what's the point of preload? Remove backlash from this axis. Yes, it is the way to... it's a more precise way of reducing backlash. Yeah, so a more precise way of reducing backlash, effectively. Time to take the Elegoo out of Neptune. There you go. Thread of the mallet was enough. You're right. The thread of the mallet was enough. You are right. Okay. Okay, now there's this collar in here, but I got to tighten up against the flange bearing so that it stays in place. That way the bearing has something to press against. Do I need to put the bolts in this first? Before pushing the lead screw through the bearing block, add a locking collar. Fasten the NEMA 23 with M5 by 30s. Okay. M5 by 30s. Which orientation do I want the motor to be in? I don't think it says. I don't know. Okay. M5 by 30s are M5 25, M5 30. Cool. M4. Shouldn't eat acidic things at night. Eh. Print orientation will outweigh print Eh. Why is this being tight? Or being weird? Thread. Go. Let's get the OBSBot angle so you folks can get a bird's eye view of what I'm doing here. Trying to thread this motor screw in. I shouldn't smoke, but that's reasonable. There's a point to be made there. Why are these not threading nicely? Pineapple pizza. I'm doing pizza for dinner, but not with pineapple. No. There we go. It's being funky. It's like there's a lip they gotta get past or something. Oh, you know what it probably is? It's probably squeeze out from the heat press insert. We'll find out in a second. All right. M4 to try and drive this home. Where are the moderators? Is that sort of talk aloud here? Yeah, we had a long conversation about this on Daniel's stream yesterday. What's your go-to toppings? My favorite toppings on pizza are artichoke hearts, spinach, black olives, and peppers, green peppers. That's my usual go-to. And no cheese, of course. Why is this fighting me? This is just not starting. It's like the hole's clogged. Is it even pizza without cheese? Yeah, well, I eat my bread with sauce, damn it. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was. Damn it! It's exactly what I thought it was. It's the heat press insert squeezed out too much and now the hole's clogged up. Damn it. It's exactly what I was afraid of. Alright, let me try and check all of these. That one's clogged up, that one's clogged up, and that one's clogged up. Womp womp. Womp womp. Okay. How am I going to clear those? Damn it, I gotta pull this back. No way I'm gonna do it without pulling this back. At which point, I need a mallet. Right back. Rubber mallet time. So annoying. Make sure I don't pull these off the end, because I got to try and get down in there and clear out the holes. Not 100% how I'm doing that. Drill bit's going to be the best bet. You can clear them by running a screw through the other side. Yeah, but I can't get to two of them because they're bolted to this bracket. I gotta have to remove this bracket out. Nutritional yeast flakes. I drown my my pizza in nutritional yeast. I do that. I do drown my pizza in nooch. Alright, I'm gonna get these out. I'm gonna have to remove this bracket so I can clear those holes. You are right, Jake. All the food talk, it's like watching a Modbot stream. And Modbot's even here. Daniel's even here. Percussive maintenance, stand by. Look, we're fine. We will be fine. Can't go any further on that unless I back this off. Looks like a section of C-beam from Open Builds for the table. You are correct. You are correct. Whether they source it from Open Builds, don't know, but clearing this is one of the spots that has built-in supports. I guess it is. I didn't realize. I did not realize. It does appear to be. No, I don't think it is. Decided on lo mein. Ooh, I haven't had good Chinese in quite some time. I haven't had good Chinese in a while. Alright. I just want to get this done and we'll call it. But I want to get this motor mounted. So I gotta fix this motor mount. Clear up this motor mount. Okay. Clear those holes out. Let's clear them holes out. There's a good place off Chestnut near Rittenhouse. Alright. Tempeh on pizza is pretty good. I dig tempeh on pizza. I do dig that as well. I dig tempeh on pizza. I dig like Beyond sausage. Just don't get that much, you know? Ah. Getting it reamed out. This heat press insert's a little crooked, I think. Should have used a press. I have to build my press, though. I gotta build my press. Could have used it here. Alright, there's one hole clear. One. Ay, ay, ay. My fault for not checking. Wow, I got all of these crooked. As I'm looking at this, they're all like slightly crooked. I'm gonna have to straighten them out. Can't have any of the Beyond Meat. The sodium's a killer on my fibro. Makes sense. Do this under a table so you don't have to hear the squeaking. All right. It doesn't look PG under the table. Listen, I'm just playing with my LTT screwdriver, okay? Don't make it weird. VLMP2 stream when? I've got the kit for VLMP1, so... He sent me the VLMP1 kit like 2 months before the 2 launched, so... Maybe I'll build both. I thought it was seagulls flying by. It does sound like that. Alright. There's a nice simple heat press design on printables that just uses MGN. Are you talking about the Stealth Press? The new Stealth Press Mini? I don't know why, but I like put all of these at the exact same wrong angle. I didn't stick around for the full Modbot stream. Did he find the B-hole? He did find the B-hole. He did. Hey, I got this one straight, so I only have 3 of them to straighten out. Alright. I love this screwdriver. Okay. Now I'm going to swap tips on this so I can straighten these out real quick. Task failed successfully. Exactly. Straighten these out, install this, get the motor installed, and we can cut it. Love the custom color you did. Thank you. Polymaker Lime Green ABS. Polymaker Lime Green ABS. I'm sure it'll become a greasy, dirty mess, but whatever. Let that thing get hot. And you straighten out these inserts. I don't know how I screwed them up so much. Let me try putting a screw in them so I can see what angle they're at. So they're all the same wrong angle. Yeah, they're all tilted that way. Waiting for the LTT precision screwdriver. Me too. Me too. Double check, make sure I just did that right. If I did it at all. That one straightened out a fair bit. Have you tried the Sparkle ABS and ASA from them? The amount of glitter is wild. Yes, the Trident uses the Galaxy ASA for the blue on that. It is Galaxy ASA blue on the Trident. So, yes, I have. I quite like it. It is pretty, that's for sure. Just heat press insert on printables. Okay. Wonder which will come first, the precision screwdriver or replacement zipper pulls. I don't know. Ruby stole the LTT backpack we have, so... The LTT backpack became Ruby's. So I wouldn't know. Haven't paid attention. Okay. That was that. Now it's straightened out. We can put this together like it's supposed to be. All right. Back in goes this screw. You know what? I'm gonna... Thanks for making work bearable. Thank you for being here. 94. Appreciate it. Actually, you know, Modbot, Daniel, here's a technique. Run the screws through the printed part already and then apply the Loctite on the other side of the printed part. That's what I'm doing right now. That's my current method. I forgot that I did do that. I built a stealth press. Some things I didn't like about it. Naomi's kit looks nice and sturdy. Is Naomi's kit still available since Naomi's kind of gone MIA? I don't know. It's probably some other reseller selling it now. Or at least running the shop. She's still running her shop. Okay. State was still up a few days ago. Okay. I just know, haven't really heard from her in quite some time with the whole... She has to go, just has to go silent on social media. Okay. Wasn't sure where that all stood. The new VLMP Pro looks sweet and overkill. I like those words. Those are words I like. Wrong one. Alright. Now we can do this again. Through the bearing. Through the other set of bearings. I'm gonna run, actually gonna run this. Zombie Hedgehog, welcome, 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 Austin. I don't know why I always do that. I blank on your name for a split second, and I'm like, I know what it is, and I look like an idiot because I just pause after your name. Welcome. Jose, gotta get some shut-eye. Thank you for being here. Go get some sleep. Thanks for being here. We're only gonna be here a little while longer anyway. Already gone 20 minutes past where I expected to go. I want to get this done, though. I want to get this step done. Next stream, for anybody who's dipping out early, next stream will be Sunday morning. Sunday morning stream for those folks across the ocean to catch up and be here. Make it easier on you folks, so... Still co-streaming with Bot? No, he was in the chat, or is in the chat, but no. So our co-stream on this, I haven't really talked about that this stream. I should have by this point. So the co-stream with Modbot, we did our first episode together, and we're going to do our last episode of this stream series together. So we got started with the unboxing and starting to build on his channel yesterday. And then the next step, or the final step once we're both done, because I've got to get mine done like ASAP for the move. And then when we're all said and done, we're going to do a stream on this channel, he and I. So we did the first one on his channel. The next one's going to be on my channel here. And we'll do a co-stream again for the final episode where we just both like look back at and, you know, recap our builds and like play with them, maybe do our first cuts or something. I don't know. So yeah. That's what it's gonna be for this series. Go in your home. There we go. It's through there. Sounded like you needed it done quick. So yeah, I do. So that is the concern. So. All right, let's see if I can push this through. Once it's through the bearings and the preload on the anti-backlash nut, it is such a bear to push through here. Come on. I'm gonna give it a tap on the motor. I shouldn't, but I'm going to. Just to get it a little more started. There we go. That's what I needed. Okay. Now I can get these in here. I should do my own testing on that, like how much ABS and ASA are affected by blue Loctite, like for my own knowledge base. I know I've always been told it, but I've never really experienced the effects myself. Help if I actually put a bit in here. All right, now. Oh, look at that. When the hole is clear, it just goes in. What a strange concept. What a strange concept. Change our perspective. Oh yeah, how Zombie Hedgehog asking Nuno's asking in the chat, how you liking the Doron Velta build? I'm curious too, because I really want to build one of those. I was looking around at like what parts I have available for it and whatever. I need to get a bed if I'm going to do that. It won't be till after the move, so it's going to be a while. Going to be a hot minute before I can get to that. It's been fun, but not as easy as a regular Voron build. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Josho, if you add another TMC 2209 for the dual independent Z on the N4, you remove the timing sync belt. Yes, you do. Trying to upload the recording, but the sync of audio is off. That's annoying. You could use Resolve and resync it. Will there be a manual? I doubt it. I don't know if they have any intention of like continuing the Doron Velta project, really. Is that the default spindle? Yes, it is. That is the 110 volt default 1.5 kilowatt spindle. Yeah. All right, get these tight. And our first motor is on. First motor's on. Tighten up the collar at the bearing stack at the other end. Continuing tonight. All right, when you, Austin, you going live like soon? Or maybe we can see if folks want to raid over to you on Twitch, but yeah. One and a half hours. Okay, a bit of a gap. A bit of a gap. All right, we got to put another collar on the other side of this. On the outside. All right. And there we are. I think that's where we're going to call it. Make sure these are tight together. They want me to kind of preload them. I think they are, but I gotta double check. I did make sure to do that on the outside, but not so much the inside one. All right, folks. I think that's where we're calling it for tonight. Next is drag chain stuff, and we'll pick up with this on Sunday morning. So here we are, folks. Ugh. We've got our Y-axis. Don't fall over. I'm going to adjust the other camera angle really quick. There it is. Our Y-axis is largely together. We got the rails in place, the NEMA 23 motor, the collars on the bearing block side. The bearing block is together, so the part that the motor is really pushing against and pulling against when moving the Y-axis, and our lead screw in place. So, looking good. It's coming together. Taking a lot longer than I thought, but that's life. That thing could be a car jack, yeah. Oh, there it is. My baby. My new baby. So, all right, folks. That's where we're going to wrap it up for this night. I got to go eat dinner. I got to go work on some other stuff around the house, getting ready for the move and all that. So, yeah. And I think that's where we're wrapping it, folks. Thank you for being here. Jean's not around for the outro, unfortunately. She wandered off a while ago. Too much stuff on her workbench. She's irritated that I'm making the workbench too much of a mess. So, I can understand where she's coming from on that. Oh well. All right, folks. I will see you all Sunday morning. We'll do another stream. Keep rolling with this build and get it done. And hopefully we can get some more folks in the chat on. Excellent chat today once again. Thank you to everybody who sent super chats, liked this stream, and joined up as channel members. Your support is always greatly appreciated. Joe Show gifted some channel members this stream. I remember that. Thank you very much for that as well. All right, folks. I'm going to head out. I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.